Hey. Hey,
Jacque,
Megan.
with this game, you had guys, come back after a hot start against this Bucks team. What did you see that was the biggest difference maker, especially during those last couple of minutes in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we outscored them by double digits, without that first quarter. So I thought our ability to not give up, to continue to find out solutions as a group was great. We had a lot of contributions, just big-time winning plays that were made by guys that played tonight. So great to see. Great to see Patty lead the charge with our group and him being ready to play when his number was called. But across the board, a lot of contributions. Guys got some minutes tonight and gave ourselves a chance.
Did you think that some of the things turned on that challenge that Coach Bud called and won? Did things change after that?
Yeah, interesting. I guess they went to the review, and we also had a little review also. So interesting call.
And then with the bench points for tonight to have 98, that's a franchise record. I know you mentioned about how the guys stay ready, but so many of the young guys, particularly who have been in and out of rotation and two-way players as well. What did you see from them that impressed you?
Yeah, really we talked about Ronnie Burrell the other day, and so I think it kind of starts with him. When he has Drew Smith and David Duke with him, that he's preaching the same message that we are here, working on the same concepts that we have here. And then when he comes to us, we have Adam Caporn and Royo Ivy and Ryan Forehand Kelly really getting our group and Tiago Splitter to play with those same concepts and have them ready to play the game when it's for real on this level. So you give those guys a lot of credit for just working on their game and seizing the opportunity and playing extremely hard. Like to see Drew Smith dive on the floor for a possession for us, no thought about it, but it was a 50-50 ball and he's going to come away with it. Awesome. To see David Duke get in the paint, get down the lane, throw one down at this level, awesome to see. So hopefully it gives those guys some some fuel to keep working on their game, and you never know when their number's going to be called again.
Jacque, you said pregame how it was probably not going to be a full workload for McHale, and then that kind of extended toward the rest of the starters. I mean, was that always the plan, or given the start you guys had and how that second unit took over, was that just kind of the way it worked out?
Yeah, it was more so that the way the game kind of unfolded a little bit with the lead they had after the first quarter. It was going to take a lot for that group to come back, so went with the ideal of some fresh legs and see if we can turn it around, junking the game up a little bit, and so more so in line with that.
Saying that third quarter, you guys started to chip away at the lead. I mean, what went 3-2 zone, and there was also some of those wrinkles you talked about for Patty. I mean, just what changed around that time of the game? I
think we freed up Patty to get his shot off, which was great. So guys were screening for him, different angles, different positions on the floor to free him up, which was great. Using 1-2 screens at times, different angles. So guys were really smart about the concepts we were trying to use. And then defensively, for us to mix things up, whether we were blitzing at time, trapping, whether we were zone sometimes to man, for guys that, some guys like Nerlens, first time hearing those directions from me, so it was good to get some feedback in this game.
In your mind, that stretch where you guys just couldn't buy a basket early in the game.
Yeah.
Did you have to expend so much energy coming back from that comes back to bite you, or do you just separate that and say, listen, we had times to execute down the stretch?
Yeah, we really rode that first, Mikal, Seth, Joe, rode them, probably 9. I think we rode Mikal almost 12 minutes. And so I thought, let's go fresh legs. And those guys are playing hard. When you're switching up defenses and you're trying to play with pace, because that's a good defensive team, multiple efforts on that end of the floor. I'm not saying we got tired, but we were trying to push the pace and we were trying to play fast for sure.
You were pregame about Brook Lopez. I mean, the 9 blocks he had, especially some of those at crucial times, just can you kind of speak to his impact on the game and how he kind of hurt you guys?
Yeah, he's consistently done it. Early in the game, we had, I think at the half, we had 20 mid-range shots. So that was way too many, and we talked about that. And so the decision is how are you going to attack him at the rim, bring him over. Sometimes you're able to finish at the rim. Sometimes you got to pass that thing. I think we had difficulties a little bit. We had some low passes that didn't work. I thought Cam Thomas was able to get to the rim, get fouled against Brooks. So sometimes that's the recourse that you have. But he's been dominant for them on the defensive end of the floor, and he was tonight.
Talked about the fresh legs aspect, because it wasn't part of the original plan to kind of rest some of the rotation guys, was there any thought towards the end of the game, you know, as you guys were chipping away at the lead, to maybe bring some of them in just for a different look, or because that other group was working so well, kind of if it ain't broke at the end?
No, I thought because that group was the group in the second quarter, I think was tied up, right, in that second quarter, 27-27, yeah. And so that group had, I thought, a great rhythm and momentum of what they were trying to accomplish on the floor. So more so than anything, the thought was go with that group and stay with that group.
And for Cam Thomas, you told us during pregame what determining factors you need to see from him. I mean, at this point, we know the confidence level that he does have in that fourth quarter. That he did have that stretch of scoring, I think, 11 straight points for you guys in almost the last, 2 minutes of the game. What can you just say about what he did show you tonight and how that kind of adds on to it?
Well, you keep learning as a young player. And so tonight, early on, the ball wasn't going in for him. And how do you respond to that? So he thought he got fouled on a few plays. And so I think we had a possession where we talked in the huddle about just playing, moving on to the next play. Don't let what's happening in the past dictate what's going on in the future. And I thought he did an amazing job of doing that. Refocused himself, and then he was able to score buckets for us down the stretch. So great lessons along the way that you can't replicate unless you're in them. And so I think he grew tonight.
Jacque, they only had 3 points off your guys' turnovers. What'd you interesting stat for that for the night? Just what'd you make out of that?
The ball was just kind of flying around a little bit everywhere. And, we turn it over, they turn it over, and it's interesting. I think the piece that hurt us tonight was the offensive rebounding. I think the 20 of them maybe so, and so some crucial ones down the stretch. We fought and we hit, but that's going to be a continual message for us to not let guys get offensive rebounds.
What did you see from Nerlens?
Yeah, so I thought you saw a little bit of everything. He continues to get himself in shape. The charge that he took was great, putting his body on the line, so that was great. A block on the other end was great. So those things we want to continue to see from him. He'll continue to learn conceptually what we want to do on the defensive end. And we're switching back and forth between defenses, so you got to turn your brain on and off and back on again. So that challenge is what's ahead of him.
All right, guys, thank you.
All right, guys.